And we begin tonight with a KITV News exclusive. More than 24 stores in Williamson County busted for selling tobacco to underage customers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jason Wheeler.
You are going to be out and about. Take into consideration that not only are you having some dangling power lines to deal with. For instance, there's one right here at this intersection that you would never see if you didn't know it.
There is a verdict in the Tom DeLay case, the jury finding him guilty of conspiracy to commit money laundering and guilty of committing money laundering.
A Saharan sandstorm, a pretty big one, being blown off the coast of Africa by some pretty gusty winds going across the Atlantic Ocean all the way over here to Florida. It's the largest aerodynamic change ever made to the shuttle system, but still some were not happy. In fact, NASA's chief safety officer and NASA's chief engineer both publicly stated that they wanted more done. They are getting hit there in Grand Cayman. Again, we're going to try to get that woman back on the phone in just a little while just to sort of check in. From the skyscrapers and brought them crashing down here to the streets below. This one of the worst examples that you see right here behind me. That is a 20-some-odd story building, and I challenge you to find one intact window in that building. There.
Our daily cycle in the Amazon. We are washed and spun in the canoe. Then, once we're completely drained, we are repeatedly clotheslined in a forest that seems to have fingers.
Now, for some tourists, Americans especially, the natural excitement of the Amazon, for some reason, isn't enough. For those folks, there is man-made adventure.
At Amazon Survival School,
There we go.
they'll teach you some real lessons, all right.
It's harder than it looks.
Learn to cross a stream on a rope bridge.
People pay extra to do this? Yeah? Why? Ryan, we'll let you keep on gathering out there and see if you can find someone else for us to talk to. The more people we hear from, the better we get a picture of what exactly has gone on down there and what is still going on down there. The county's unpaid parking tickets totaled more than $10,000. County bosses are now going to have to try to find a way to clean up this expensive mess.
Waiting for Governor Perry to come out and give his victory speech, which we are expecting any second now. They said he would be on the podium at straight up 10 o'clock, and he's usually pretty prompt about this because he is a very media-savvy governor, of course.
Gunfire throughout the morning. Of course, that's nothing new in Haiti, especially these days, as we've been seeing a bloody rebellion led from the north, brought all the way now to the capital city. In case you're just joining us, though, President Jean-Bertrand Aristide stepping down from power, headed to the Dominican Republic, left on an unmarked white jet this morning, taking with him some close aides. Emergency responders have certainly been busy because of this flooding, and they certainly don't need what's going on just across the way over there. A man ventured down to the water's edge just a few minutes ago to check out what was going on. He was told to get out of here by the lifeguards. This is completely closed off to the public down here for safety reasons. When will the project be done? When will the crane be moved so that the road can reopen? And why is the developer being allowed to keep that road closed when the city says the permit to do so expired long ago? As the water in this creek rises, it comes into contact with these sensors on the side of the pole. When it gets high enough to where it looks like it's about to go over the road, flashing lights up the road are automatically triggered.
And we have joined tens of thousands of our best friends out here to have a good time and to bring you some of the fun.
Many cases in Texas can't go forward until the Department of Public Safety puts its fingerprint on the evidence. You see, a lot of crime scene samples from across the state have to be tested here at the Central Lab in Austin. And these days, the lab itself is being tested by an enormous case backlog. Good morning, Susan. They are getting ready for quite a Friday the 13th here in the Tampa Bay area. The villain this time around, of course, is named Charlie. He is not here just yet. We do see lightning off in the distance periodically, but so far, no rain, no real wind to talk about. As you mentioned, though, Charlie did pass through Cuba overnight, in fact, early this morning, and packed quite a punch, but it was by no means a knockout. Now, while that's encouraging, folks here in the Tampa Bay area are certainly not breathing a sigh of relief just yet. After all, Cuba is a storm-tested island, while this area rarely sees such a direct hit.
That, of course, has set up a very interesting scenario here yesterday. Hundreds of thousands of people trying to get out of the island areas or the low-lying areas here in the Tampa Bay area. All of the bridges bumper to bumper as folks made their way out of here. Charlie is on the way, and folks are getting out of the way in anticipation of that, Susan. It appears that a lot of people are taking this threat very seriously here.
All right, Jason.
The Bayou City certainly living up to its name today. In some places, these waterways, which really act as enormous drainage ditches, have been flirting with their banks, coming right up to the edge. But so far, they have been able to handle the runoff. And as Edouard makes his way out of Houston now, the deluge he dumped here is doing the same. You know, in situations like this, they like to be overly cautious and err on the side of caution, if you will. So they've gone ahead and locked that school down just to make sure that everybody inside there is okay. I'm going to lift up this crime scene tape so this officer can make it through. He did. K9 unit arriving on the scene here.
Make fitness wear. I don't even know what that is. More fun.
Now if they could just make fitness more fun. Basically, they're trying to get women to wear the fitness outfits even when they're not at the gym. CBS 4's Lisa Petrillo has the story of why.
And welcome back, everybody. We are now going to take you out to sea aboard the USS Mitchell. This guided missile destroyer is capable of making some major waves.
Well, see you later, alligator. A 6-foot South Florida reptile living too close for comfort to some Miramar residents is no longer on the loose.
Giffords is in the top 5% of what they would expect for someone who has been through what she's been through. And so they want to get her therapy started right away. In fact, just hours after she arrived here at Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston, we're told her first therapy session was already underway. A momentous cross-country flight for a survivor who's already come a surprisingly long way.
She came into the ICU and she was alert, awake, calm.
Accompanied by her husband, her mom, her medical team, and her aides, U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords arrived at the Texas Medical Center in Houston Friday afternoon to begin the next stage, an aggressive therapy regimen aimed at undoing the damage wrought by a gunman who fired a shot through her brain at close range during a community gathering in Arizona almost 2 weeks ago. Doctors are amazed at how well she's doing.
She has great rehabilitation potential.
Prior to the arrival of the high-profile patient, the rehab facility that will be Representative Giffords' indefinite home has been getting a last-minute makeover. The number of landscapers scrambling outside outnumbered only by the collection of reporters gathered across the street.
It's a pretty big event. It's a lot of respect. It's a lot of recognition for Houston for being the best medical center in the world.
Passers-by, taken aback by the crush of media, have been pausing to snap some photos and offer well wishes.
We're pulling for her.
Because of the media coverage, many here seem to feel a very personal connection to Representative Giffords.
Feel for her and her family, and I just really, hope that she keeps getting better and improving.
They say they hope the Congresswoman will make a full recovery here. If she does, they say, it would help heal the entire country, which has been shaken by the ambush in Arizona. So we've already seen a real outpouring here today, and that will continue tonight. A vigil planned outside the rehabilitation facility here at 7:30 this evening. A lot of Houstonians wanting to make sure that Representative Giffords feels very much at home here. She will be here for quite a while, too. Doctors saying they expect this to take at least 4 to 6 months. At the Texas Medical Center in Houston, I'm Jason Wheeler, KITV News. The alarm sounded, police were alerted, and they responded here in less than 2 minutes, but already the burglars and the jewelry were gone. With nerves and a chain made of steel, 3 bold burglars out to fill their trunk with a trove of more precious metals bypassed the bell that clients usually have to push to get into the Montica jewelry boutique and instead pulled the front door clean off.
Right there on the main road of Coral Gables, they obviously did not appear bashful about what they were doing.
Once inside the unstaffed store, hammers in hand, they helped themselves. The gloved and cloaked crooks not at all stalled by the stare of surveillance cameras. Within minutes, they cleared out most of the display cases and then loaded up and left. They're certainly not new to this.
They looked like they knew what they were doing.
Oh my God, it's gone.
Clients stopping in hours later had little to choose from.
Exactly, unfortunately. So, nah, we'll probably just go somewhere else.
Most of the sparkle at this swanky shop now limited to glistening glass fragments
set in the crevices of the sun-drenched sidewalks of Miracle Mile.
I can't believe it. And
Police certainly can believe it, though. They've seen just this kind of job pulled off at other sites across South Florida in recent years.